going on, world? DS1 Ross, and we back here on Sheep Stay Sleep TV. Shout out to everybody who support the platform. Much love, much love. Salute to everybody that's in the building. If you are here right now and you can hear me clearly, please start off by putting a number one in the chat. Put a number one in the chat and let me know if y'all can hear me clearly. Need to make sure y'all can hear me clearly before we get into today's show. So put a number one in the chat. Let me know if I'm being heard clearly, family. Shout out to everybody, man. We're going to get into today's show. We got another great show lined up for you guys. Of course. Okay. So y'all can hear me clearly. Awesome. That's what I like to hear. Shout out to everybody in the building. Shout out to all the visionaries. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Hit that like button and share today's show. Hit that like button and share today's show. We're going to get into today's show. But before we get into today's show, I got to get my beverage. So I'll be right back, family. Y'all give me 1 second. Okay. We back. Shout out to everybody. Like I said, hit the like button and share today's show. Share it on your community tabs. Share it on your Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, anywhere that you share content. Share today's show. Family. Shout out to everybody. Let me get over here and give some shout outs. While I give some shout outs, do me a favor and please answer the poll. Please answer the poll. We got a poll running today. Make sure y'all answer the poll. It's very much appreciated. Shout out to Miss Angie in the building. Salute to you, Miss Angie. I appreciate your love and your support. Always coming through and holding down the chat. Shout out to Miss Angie. Shout out to Miss Letitia as well. Always coming through and holding down the chat. Shout out to you. Good to see you in the building. Shout out to everyone. Shout out to M. Mills. Good to see you, M. Mills. Shout out to my man Tone Malone in the building. Salute. Shout out to Astral Atmosphere in the building. Salute. Shout out to Vanden Van in the building. Salute. Yusef Green in the building. Salute. Aya Thunder in the building. Salute. Ty-Zone. What's good, Ty-Zone? I hope I said that right. Yeah, Ty-Zone, God Zone. Shout out to you, man. Shout out to everybody, man. Salute to everybody that's in the clouds. Shout out to everyone who's going to be watching. Once you come in the building, hit the like button, share today's show. We are going to get into it. We are at part 4. Part 4 today, family. Part 4. We are going to close this series out tomorrow. So if you haven't caught any of the episodes of this series, Glorifying the Streets, easily go to the playlist section of the channel and click the playlist, Glorifying the Streets. This is where you can find every episode. You can catch up if you need to catch up. If you missed any episodes, you can find them right there. Shout out to everybody in the building once again. Welcome back to Sheep Stay Sleep TV. It's good to see y'all. Shout out to ES in the building. Y'all see today's show. As I said, this is part 4. This is why the street should have never been glorified. Part 4. Now, yesterday, if you missed part 3, make sure you go and check out part 3. Make sure you go and check out part 3 of yesterday's show. Because on yesterday's show, I said something that I felt like after I went back and listened to the stream that I needed to expound on. Because we see a lot of this today. We see it still in the streets and we see it online. And shout out to Mr. Sutton in the building. Salute my brother. Salute. Salute, salute. And it was something that I stated on yesterday's show that needed to be expounded upon. And it's a real bad problem that we have as a people. And as y'all know, this is why I asked y'all to answer the poll. Did y'all ever see the movie Fresh? Did y'all ever see the movie Fresh? And what the movie Fresh was about? And who Fresh was? See, if you learn to look at certain movies in a certain way, you'll be able to see the underlying message in the movie. See, the movie Fresh was about what we're going to talk about today. And this is something that goes on all the time in the streets. And this is something that we carry over into business today and the way we treat each other as men and as a people. I'm not going to just say as men, but as a whole. We have this mentality of go get a nigga for the low. We have that mentality of go get a black person for the low. Go get them to do whatever you need done for them for the lowest price you can get them for. Always try to lowball a nigga. Never treat a nigga for what he's worth. Always lowball him. Go get a nigga for the low. Go get a nigga to do some low shit to another black person. You see? So it shows the spiritual affliction that black people are dealing with. Because when you want to go get something done to a nigga, what you go do? You go get a nigga to do it. And a nigga do it for the low. See, this mentality, right, that was glorified in the streets is the same mentality that is used when we're trying to do something constructive. This is why shit doesn't last with black men. Anything we try to build that's constructive and positive, it don't last. You know why? Because we're always trying to get a nigga for the low. Whether whether we gonna pay him as low as we can pay him, or we gonna treat him as low as we can treat him, or we're gonna get him to do some foul shit to other niggas. It's always about us on the lowest end of the spectrum. And I know y'all may be like, well, damn, DS1, what this got to do with anything? The lowest, or the beginning of business, where business starts, the lowest rungs of business is ran in the streets. You see? Why do you think they say everything starts in the streets? You see? Now, are y'all following me? You see? This is why you can always go get a nigga for the low, because black men and black people are always fighting from the lowest positions in every facet of life. We're always fighting from the bottom. You see? And the people who's even came up from that position, they still view the people at the bottom the way that they view themselves when they were at the bottom. This is why we stay at the bottom. As a group, we stay at the bottom. Hey, what's up, Tanisha? Good to see you. Shout out to Bucket in the building. But this is why. Because it's always about going to get a nigga for the low. Why? Because where are most niggas located? Most niggas are located in the hood. He's in low income housing. So why don't we pay him the low? Why should we go pay a project nigga based on his talent when he lives in the projects? See, this is how black people think. Even black people think like this. This nigga from the hood, we should only pay him this because he's from the hood. This is the mindset. Go get a nigga for the low. This is the mindset. This is the mindset. Go get a nigga for the low. Shout out to Vanden Van. He said, much love, fam, for your great content. Salute. I appreciate your support. You see? And what goes on in the streets with the young dudes? What are they doing? They out there doing what? Hustling for the low. Getting packs and doing what? Hustling for the low. This is a mentality. This is a sickness that black people have developed about each other. Because we look at each other based on how we were taught to look at each other. And we were taught to hate one another. We were taught to treat each other like shit. So this is why you can always go get a nigga for the low. You can always do that. You ain't really got to pay the nigga what he worth. Because black people are never paid what they're worth, not even by their own people. See, we'll get up here and make a case about how black people are not represented correctly in corporate America. We're not paid right and all of that. But then we could go and look at that and see that with our own people. We could go and see that with our own people. Shit, we don't even pay what each other worth in the streets. We don't pay what each other worth in the drug game. We don't. We look to get a nigga for the low. That's the game. We treat each other like goddamn Mexicans. And no offense to no Mexicans, but when it comes to cheap labor, they always revert to Mexicans. No, how about you revert to us? Because that's how we treat each other. You need something done, you're going to try to get this nigga for as low as you could. You're going to try to get the maximum amount of work out this nigga for the least amount you could pay him. And y'all sound off in the chat room. Correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. Our own people want to pay us for the low. Our own people want us to work for them for the low. Let's talk about it. Because that's how niggas are viewed. Period. In general, across the board. That's how we're viewed. That's how we're viewed. We're subhuman. If you look at a person like they're subhuman, then all you have to pay them is crumbs. You don't have to treat them right. You don't have to respect them. You look at them as if they have no dignity. This is how they look at black people. And this is how black people look at black people. In business and all of that. This is why we quick to scam each other. We quick to rob each other. We quick to get over on each other. This is why. Because niggas ain't shit to us. So I'll take his shit. I'll take it. He don't need it. That nigga don't need shit. I'll take his shit. This is how we look at each other. We deal with each other from a degenerative perspective. And we're talking about in general, there's no respect. In general, there's no honor. In general. See, I ain't got no reason to respect you, nigga, until you got some shit I don't have. Now I can respect you. This is how black men deal with each other. Nigga, if you got a car that I can't afford, then I can respect you. But nigga, if your car cheaper than mine, or if you ain't driving, nigga, fuck you. This is how black men treat each other. Because we look at each other like pieces of shit. That our value is based on some external shit that you desire to go impress somebody else with. So I got to have on some shit that you want for you to value me. This is the mindset of black men. See? And why does this mindset exist? Because black men look at each other in a low perspective. We look at each other like we pieces of shit. We always looking to say what a nigga don't have, what a nigga don't know, what a nigga don't do. That's how niggas treat each other. That's all we looking for. We looking to say what this nigga don't have, because we always look at each other from a low vibration. Black men are very low vibrational with one another. This is why niggas don't get outside their comfort zones and go in different environments. Because we're too low vibrational with each other. We always looking for fault. We're always looking for wrong. We're always looking for a nigga to not have something, to say something about it. This is low vibrational. Why? Why? Because you can always get a nigga for the low. Because niggas usually are in their lowest states of being. And this is how we treat each other. Even when we get something. This is a mindset that we have to get rid of. This is a mindset we have to purge. And this is some shit that came from the streets. This shit derived in the streets. Getting a nigga for the low. having niggas hustle for you for 30 off 100. Y'all remember them days? All the little niggas who wanted to hustle, $30 packs. You get a $100 pack, 30 off 100. You can't eat, you can't do nothing. If you eat, nigga, that's out your money. Treating niggas like shit. Niggas out there risking their life every day, risking their freedom and all that at 14. At 14. And growing up, niggas thought that this shit was right. We thought it was right. Getting points off the pad. We thought it was cool. We not even noticing we getting 30% out of 100. And we taking all the fucking risk. That's what I respect about these young boys today. You can't give me shit, old nigga. You can't give me nothing. That's what I respect about these young dudes. Because they value their time in a different way. But y'all remember that? Some niggas, if you go back further, some niggas was getting $10 off 100. And niggas thought since they was getting so much work off and making so much money in a day, they ain't even noticed that they was getting $10 off 100. See? You can always get a nigga for the low. There's no fucking way you supposed to be having a nigga doing no shit like that. There's no way. But you know why it's done? Because it's a tradition in the hood. It's a tradition. See, the niggas who was doing it, I bet you they never even looked at it like this. Because at one point, they were little guys in the streets and they took points off the pack. It's a tradition. It's some shit that's passed down. So, nigga, it's not personal. This is just how it goes. You see? You see? This is just how it goes. And this is when things become glorified. You become a glorified corner boy. You're glorified in taking a risk for damn near nothing. You risking your life and your freedom. As long as you outside for damn near nothing. But being that this shit has been glorified, the guys who were doing this shit, they never realized it. And they realized this shit when they in jail. You see? So it need to take, so we got to go through more generations of young niggas having to learn that same lesson. Why? When it shouldn't be niggas out here giving out packs no more. What you giving out a pack for, nigga? Niggas grown men. Cop and go, nigga. Niggas grown now. We treating niggas like little kids and niggas out here that got families and they risking their goddamn life. Are you stupid? Treat a black man like he worth something. You want him to make it home to his kids, right? Then treat him as such. Pay him as such, nigga. But no, you can always get a nigga for the low. That's that street shit that we got to get rid of. That's that street shit we got to get rid of because we carry that mentality over into doing business. And that's why black men business ain't right. Because we keep the street shit connected. Well, I could get over on this nigga. I ain't got to pay this little nigga. This is the same shit that happens in the streets. Little nigga hustling for a whole month, he ain't get paid. Come on, this used to happen to my homies when they was young, doing the wrong shit. Now them niggas is living right. They got jobs, city jobs. They living right. They living correct. Because they realize that street shit is fake and bullshit. Them niggas was taking packs, getting their little points, barely surviving, running from the cops. Then a nigga just pull up in the bids and tell you, yo, how much you made today, and drive the fuck off. Then he just drive off. I bet you none of them niggas ever really sat back and thought like, damn, we really manipulating these young dudes. Like, damn, we got these young niggas doing all this shit for nothing. I bet you they never thought of it like that. You know why? Because that's how we see niggas. That's how we see each other. That's how we see each other. That's how we see each other. We don't see that as being wrong. We don't. Treating each other like shit, that's not wrong. That's normal. See? That's not wrong. That's not wrong. That's normal. You know what they'll tell you? Hey, DS1, that's business. This is what niggas will tell you. This is what niggas will tell you. Hey, DS1, why you taking this so personal, man? It's just business. Really? Oh, but when the white man do it, or when the Arab do it, we need to stop supporting them, and they don't care about us. And then y'all want to get on y'all fucking y'all want to get on y'all podium and start preaching black power. But y'all don't preach it when niggas do it to each other. When niggas do it, it's business. But when the white man do it, it's white supremacy. It's racism, right? When the Spanish man do it, it's racism. When he do it. When he do it to us, it's racism. But when niggas do it, it's business. What you mad at, DS1? It's business, dog. This how I go. Oh, really, nigga? Oh, so I'm supposed to accept hearing that from a black man, but don't accept it from a white man. What the fuck is the difference? Oppression is oppression, my brother. What's the difference? Oh, so the white man can't rob black men, but the black man can. The white man should pay black people more so they can live comfortably, but black people don't have to. Niggas could pay niggas whatever the fuck they please, right? See, we got to get rid of this street mentality. See, that's the street mentality. The street mentality is, I don't give a fuck. That's street shit. We got to get rid of that. That is eroding the fabric that the next generations of youth need to come up under. There's no fabric for them to come up under. There's no foundation for them. You know what their foundation is? The internet. And you know what they see on the internet? The same shit that go on in their hood. That's what they see. That's what they see. That's all they see, and that's all they hear when they watch black YouTube. They hear niggas talking about gangbanging and selling drugs and shooting niggas and who a snitch. That's what they hear in their hood. When they come on YouTube, they see black women arguing, cackling about what niggas like them, who broke, who this, who on drugs, who having sex with who. This is the same shit they see in their hood. And this is why YouTube has decided to pay black YouTubers pennies on a fucking dollar. Because you can always get a nigga for the low. See, even YouTube get niggas for the low. They get us to get up here and show the world just why we treat black people like shit. We get up there and showcase it. And then you wonder why black YouTubers won't get paid more. Because look at what we feed the algorithm. Stupid. Look at what we feed the algorithm. Look at the content we're presenting to these advertising agencies about Black people, because your content represents you. I hope you know that. I hope you know that. I hope you know this. I hope you know this. The way you are on here in person, people want to see if that same person gonna show up. When they meet you, they expect to meet that same person. They expect to feel that same energy that they felt permeating through that goddamn computer screen. I hope y'all know this. I hope y'all know this. See, this is why YouTube can pay us what they pay us. You can always get a nigga for the low. Get a nigga to do the devil's work for pennies on a dollar. Promote confusion, chaos, and death. Promote it, Black man. Promote it, Black woman, and we will pay you. We'll give you pennies on a dollar, nigga. Because that's all you want anyway. You want fame more than you want money. You want prestige more than you want money. You want us to say, hey, good job, nigga, more than you want money, more than you want progress for your own people. How we know this? Through our actions. Through our actions. What we show on these apps. What we do on TikTok. What we do on YouTube. See, because this is the shit that's being pushed out to the world. Look at your algorithm. Look at your analytics. They tell you where your content is being pushed to. So understand that your image on here is being promoted to the world, Black people. So all of this fighting and all of this shit, you showing the world, hey, no wonder it's good to hate niggas. It's good to pay niggas minimum wage. It's good that minimum wage is still $6.50, $7.50 in some states for these niggas. And anybody who want to behave like a nigga. Why do you think this is so? Because how we represent ourselves. And how we represent ourselves is how we see and how we feel about ourselves. This is why you can always go get a nigga for the low. Young nigga starving in the hood. He barely eating. He'll take that 30 off 100 all day. Even though he could go outside the first day and lose his life. See that? See, that's not being explained. That's not explained before he get that pack. Hey, do you know you get your head blown off in the next 10 minutes? These niggas could turn a corner and start shooting and you die. They don't tell them that. Because it's all about we need some niggas to get this work off. And we could get niggas for the low. Is this what we see? This is how we see each other. But how many niggas you could go get the bill of house right now? Huh? That is willing to do it. They ain't gotta have no money. You could pay for everything. All y'all need is the materials and the manpower. How many niggas will show up? How many niggas will show up? See, this is a mindset issue. That's what this is. We got to stop glorifying street shit. That's not constructive. That has never been constructive because it was based out of poverty. It was based out of poverty. That's not going to build nothing. Nothing sustainable. And what we doing? We crashing out every day. Because how we see each other, man. We putting ourselves in harm's way every day. Because how we see ourselves. You can always get a nigga for the low. Why? Because what is a nigga life worth? Huh? What is a nigga life worth? We sit up here and talk about each other like cats and dogs every goddamn day. We talk about each other, kids, and every goddamn thing. We make fun of people dying in our families and all that type of shit. So what is the value of a black life? What is the value of a black life? Huh? Just like there's no value or there's no caring for black life in the streets. See, this is why the streets should have never been glorified. This is why. It should have never been glorified. Because look at what we have today. We got situations like this, like Fresh. Like Fresh. Fresh is a perfect example. The movie Fresh is a perfect example. Perfect example of the glorification of the streets and how he was used because what? He's a young dude. And how they used him. How these old niggas, these old wicked niggas in the streets, how they use young niggas. See? That's what that was about. You know what saved Fresh? Fresh knew how to play chess. And he outsmarted that old nigga. See? See, because Fresh, being that Fresh understood the game of chess, he understood his life. And he knew on his chessboard he was the king. He was. He was coming to become the king. From being a what? A pawn. From being a pawn. And throughout the movie, he moved up. Every rank, he moved up. If you pay attention to the movie. See, Fresh understood today's show. You can always get a nigga for the low. Why? Because there's more pawns on the board than any other piece. You see? And pawns are what? Disposable pieces. They're pieces that are not that of value. But don't sleep on them. Don't sleep on them. You see? But pawns are usually what? Niggas you get for the low. Niggas you get for the low. Distractions. You use them as distractions. You use them as bait. You use them as cannon fodder. See? And this is how black men treat each other. Because this is how we see each other. See? Let me go back to that example. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button and share today's show. Shout out to everybody in the building. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. I appreciate everybody who's here. Salute. Brain Jones. What's good, Brain Jones? B. Mays. Salute. Now, Let's go back to the example of how many dudes you could call who are willing to get down and help you build a house. Or you could buy all the supplies, everything. All you need is the manpower and the skill sets. How many people you think will show up? Some of y'all put 0 in the chat. Now, let's flip that example. Now, how many dudes do you know right now, if you told them you had about 10 keys and about 200 pounds, how many do you think will show up? Journey of Destiny, salute. Po Boy Film, salute, family. Salute, my brother. Jax, what's good, Jax? Y'all answer that in the chat. Y'all said zero dudes to show up to build a house, whether you bought all the supplies or anything. But how many will show up if you told them you had about 10 keys and 200 pounds? How many will show up and try to get that money? Ha! Brain Jones said, too many will show up. See, that shows you how we glorify the streets. That show you that I could get more dudes to show up to sell drugs and get money like that than for us to build a house and sell the house and make money. That shows you the glorification of the streets. Niggas will jump on them pounds and them keys so fast. Man, how much you got left? I'll buy the rest of them. They'll be trying to buy it. Instead of y'all trying to sell it together, them niggas will be trying to buy it all off of me. But if I got a whole plot of land, we go get all the supplies, everything. And I just tell brothers, yo, I just need brothers with skills to come and we getting ready to build these houses and sell these houses. How many will show up? And you ain't got to show up if you a carpenter. We need demolition. We just need men there. And then we can organize it from there. Would you show up? But if I was offering some bricks, would you show up? If I told you if you came, you get a free brick, would you show up? Because what? This proves what? You can always get a nigga for the low. You can always get a nigga to do some foul shit. See? We ain't gonna go fix no houses up, but we gonna keep selling crack. Even though we can make more than when we selling crack and go home my kids and don't have to duck the police. But niggas will still show up to sell drugs. Niggas will still show up to sell drugs. Still. Niggas will still show up to sell drugs. Niggas will still show up to commit crime. You even see it with these rappers. Big record deals. You still trying to be street. It's the glorification of this shit, man. This shit have to stop being glorified. It has to. Because that is at the forefront of Black culture, the streets, and the glorification of it. Which is why Black men, Black women, and Black children are still at the bottom. Because the black men die and go to prison, and then the black women are left alone with the children to fend for themselves and to survive any way that they could, due to the glorification of the streets. This is why we got to stop this shit, man. We have to. We have to get rid of this mentality. If we get rid of the street mentality, we'll begin to value each other as men. We'll value ourselves more. We'll value our women more. You think all black women are hoes because you grew up in the streets. That's street shit. That's street shit, even if you learned it in your house. You grew up in a street-based family where hoes came in and out your family and in and out your house. So that's how you think. Due to the glorification of the streets. You see? You got to understand this, brothers. You got to understand this, sisters. You got to understand this shit. Glorifying the streets, that's never going to solve no problems. It's not going to make anything better. Because the first thing it's going to do is going to continue to contribute to the constant threat of extinction. That's number one. And what is big business in America? Incarceration. But what is the biggest business for America, for this goddamn world in general, though? The biggest business is what? Black death. So if we get black people to continue to promote black death, then we'll continue to have more black death and we'll continue to get rich. While these niggas just sit around and try to become rappers to make it out the hood, to keep doing hood shit, and then to die on some hood shit. You see? You see? The only way we can stop the cycle is if we stop the cycle amongst ourselves. Stop trying to change everybody else, black people, and let's change ourselves. Let's change the way we see each other and how we treat each other, instead of worrying about somebody else looking at each other a certain way. Because guess what? Nobody else give a fuck about what black people think about them. But black people give a fuck about what everybody else think about them. But nobody cares about the opinions of black folk. Just like we don't give a fuck about our own opinions. We don't even want to listen to each other. And this is a problem. This is why we're losing internally and externally. We're losing on the micro level and the macro level. See? We're losing as a group of people, as a race of people, and we're losing in the world as a race of people. You see? And this is happening all because of the glorification of the streets and how that shit permeates into how we see each other on a daily basis, man. If you sitting here with me and I think I'm a piece of shit, but you standing next to me, guess what? You a piece of shit with me, nigga. See, we got to get rid of that. We got to get rid of that. Because guess what? Y'all are not pieces of shit. Y'all are standing next to each other because y'all have the same situations. You see? That's why. It ain't because you a piece of shit. It's because you came up in a shitty situation that you had nothing to do with. You had nothing to do with it. You had nothing to do with it. But guess what you do have something to do with? How the hell you see me and how you see yourself because of that situation. See, because of that situation, the way we solve it is to not see each other the way you think the situation sees you. See, when you in a fucked up situation, you think that the world is just against you. No, that's just your situation and the people who deal with that situation along with you. That doesn't mean you're a piece of shit. But that's what we tell ourselves. And that's what we communicate to. That's right, Bob. Shout out to Bob in the building. Right. It's not our fault, but it is our problem. That's a fact. Shout out to Ken Nash in the building. Alonzo Hall, salute my brother. That's right. It's not our fault, but it is our problem. It's our problem to fix. So if we understand that, man, we'll get to work, man. We'll get to work. And the first thing we got to do is we got to be careful on the shit that we uphold as, oh, this is how we are. Really? So we just going to be street niggas forever. So we're never going to evolve. But I thought life was about progress and growth and all of these things. So when are you ever going to grow past glorifying the streets? Huh? When we going to get past this? We had too many generations of it. My grandfathers were street niggas. My father's father was a number runner and a gambler. My mother's father was a hustler. What? What? When is this shit gonna end? When could there be a generation of black men that say, we don't even think about the streets? The streets is not an option. When is that gonna happen for us? Why does it always have to be part of black men legacy that at one point we was pimping? That at one point we was dope dealers and dope users? Why does that always have to be a part of our narrative? That it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be. Stop saying it does. It doesn't. It don't. Especially the way the world is moving today. So you telling me our next 5 generations of kids got to be sniffing crack, smoking crack? That's what you're telling me? They got to be on drugs. The next 5 generations, they got to do drugs too? What? We got to get rid of this sickness, black people, that's in our heads. We got to remove this sickness, man. Because this is why there's no progress. Oh, come on, DS1. Every generation gonna use drugs. What? What? So you basically telling me your great-great-grandkids gonna find a drug to use? You okay with that? Why would you even put that into the universe? We're about progress, right? Come on. Come on. If we're trying to get out of poverty, what do you think is attached to poverty or being impoverished? Drug usage, alcohol usage, addiction. Addiction stems from trauma. Trauma is spiritual. You see? So if you want us to get out of poverty, then we have to get out of spiritual poverty also. We got to remove the stress and the depression out of our life. Money won't remove it. Money can actually drive you into a deeper depression. It can make you more stressed. And that's what it does to black people. You don't see it? You don't see it? Money makes certain niggas crazy. Look at Puffy. Puffy is out of his goddamn mind. He's nuts. That's because he came from the hood and now he a billionaire. This nigga crazy. Nigga crazy. You got to understand this, man. Shout out to everybody in the building. Shout out to Bucket, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate the super chat. My brother, he says, you are spitting straight facts. Had to donate. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate it, man. Brain Jones says, mental health is a huge underlying factor. Facts. 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 Tanisha says, some men like Charleston White and Hassan Campbell make black YouTubers look bad. No, not only make us look bad, Tanisha, but it actually makes black YouTubers continue to dysfunction because they get paid a whole lot of money to promote black dysfunction. That's what Hassan Campbell and Charleston White gets paid for. To promote black dysfunction. That's why they make the money they make. Brain Jones says Hollywood / entertainment plays too big of a part, I think. It does. It does. Melanie in Mind says more mental slavery if no unity or a code of conduct. Yeah, it's all mental slavery. It's all mental slavery. Economic slavery or the economic or the finance institution that was created is all based on mental slavery. It is all based to get you to look at yourself in a certain way. If we can get you to see yourself as a piece of shit, you will then treat yourself as a piece of shit. And when you make money and when you get money, you will then treat money like pieces of shit treat money. So yes, it's all mental slavery. Study Dr. Jewel Pookrum. Shout out to Dr. Jewel Pookrum. She the one who first broke that down, breaking the psychological chains of slavery. That is all connected into economics. That's how they know how black people spend. Shout out to Aya Ra. Aya Ra says, Jones, we can break the generational curse, but we have to become distracted by easy way outs at the cost of our own. We cannot be distracted by easy way outs by the cost of our own. So we need to do the work on ourselves and be around positive people. Facts. Facts. Negativity stunts growth. Facts. That's a super fact. I don't know when we're going to realize this, man. But this was a great live. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. I appreciate all the feedback in the chat room, man. I appreciate all of y'all. Shout out to everyone. If this is your first time here, make sure you subscribe. There's a lot of y'all who are participating. There's a lot of new viewers. I appreciate all the new viewers. But don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I've been seeing a lot of people saying they haven't been getting the notifications. Sometimes you got to click the bell, then click the bell again. You know, click it off, then click it back on to make sure you get all the notifications. Make sure you guys are notified whenever I'm live. Shout out to everybody. Tomorrow, guys, I do have a dentist appointment. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing a live stream tomorrow, but I will have a pre-record for you guys. So stay tuned for that. But just be on the lookout if I'm going live or not. You guys will see the schedule live if I'm going live or not. But you guys will definitely have a pre-record tomorrow because a brother definitely got to go and check on his teethuses. You know what I'm saying? So I can keep smiling like this. But shout out to everybody, man. I appreciate y'all for tuning into today's show. Much love to everybody. Shout out to Miss Letitia for the super chat. I appreciate you, love. I appreciate all your support. Shout out to my brother, the underrated darkness in the building. Salute to everybody for coming through. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you share the show. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you're notified every time I drop some new content right here on Sheep Stay Sleep TV. Don't forget, follow me and my brother, the Book of Ronan podcast. The links to the podcast is in the description box. The links to the podcast is in the description box. Any other places you want to follow me, the links is in the description box. Shout out to everybody in the building once again. DS1 Ross, Sheep Stay Sleep TV. And remember, y'all, we are our own agency. We are our own agency. I'm going to catch y'all on the next one. Peace.